Item number 8, ordinance 2025-102.
Ordinance making additional appropriations from the general fund to the senior center for the year ending December 31st, 2025.
Ms. Lang, again.
Coming out of Finance Committee with a 2-1 no recommendation. Tonight is the first read for this. This is to add money to the senior center fund for unforeseen costs that have come up. I believe Mr. Bedishare is here to answer any questions anybody may have.
Steve Monitor, Director of the Marion Senior Center. Yes, we were doing projections for the fourth quarter here and looked at transportation has been very active and positive way. We also have been doing a lot more with out-of-county transportation. We foresee a couple of areas, one of them being fuel with some of the pricing that's fluctuated. We'll be needing a little bit more with that. We also got a call from here with City Hall with the utility with the electric, and those costs have been going up, so we wanted to make sure we didn't have to come in at the end of the year and kind of try to scramble and be proactive in looking at those right now. This should certainly cover what we anticipate. We also know that revenues are also, as far as donations with the out-of-county in particular, are already surpassed where we were for the entire year last year, so those monies are being received, but of course we can't do anything with those until next year because they just go back into the fund. So I think it's nothing that is, I guess it's maybe a better way to say it would be, it's an adjustment here to making sure as we continue to do more, and we've also secured $15,000 additional dollars in grant funding for next year, which is also going to go towards the out-of-county transportation. But it doesn't help us at this moment in time.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I have a quick question.
Mr. Bickle?
I was at the committee meeting the other day, and I thought Mr. Ratliff made an interesting point that the senior center is out in the county, and most of the people that use it live outside the city. Is there any thought, I know we can't do anything about it now, is there any thought to getting funding from the county to share some of that expense with the city, since it's used as a county-wide facility?
Certainly, I would be a fan of getting any additional funding.
I'm sure we would.
Out of the senior center, we wouldn't turn that down. However, I do think that it would be a good idea if the commissioners could come up with some funding that is not existing currently, but I also don't want to lose sight of, we do get funding from the county in the form of senior services levy. And those dollars that come in are very significant to our transportation program. We will be, this year, we'll be looking at receiving $112,000 for in-county transportation and an additional probably $65,000, just all told in county's senior services levy dollars that come back to us. And again, that's based on the senior services levy and a tax base, but it's under the control of the commissioners, goes through Marion County Council on Aging, will be just shy of $200,000 in funding that comes from that.
Okay.
So, but it does not help with any general funds or things of that.
Mr. Ratliff?
I just want full disclosure with what that you just said.
Okay.
So the levy is paid by who?
The levy is paid by taxpayers,
Both city and county.
everybody in Marion County.
Correct. So
Yep.
everybody pays the same. They all pay the exact same levy at the exact same rate.
At the same tax rate, yes.
But as far as the city and county putting money in, it's nowhere close to the same.
Well, for operational costs, the county does not contribute to, we're a department of the city of Marion. So they are not contributing at a level anywhere close to that. correct?
And what percentage of use is county residents versus city?
It's roughly, it's closed the gap a little bit here as of late, but it's roughly close to 50-50. It's a little bit more probably skewed towards county, but
And I mean, I don't think I've ever voted not give money to the senior center, but it's just an unfair system. You know, and that, you know, and I know several times it has been explained that we get money through the levy. But again, the levy is broke up that everybody pays it. So if you're a city resident, you not only pay the levy, you also pay out of your 2% municipal income tax. So you pay for the same service multiple times, that the county is getting benefit of that and not having to pay. And that's just, it's just not fair. That's all I said at the committee.
Mr. Ratliff, I know this is an age-old question, and I give you my guarantee that I will broach that subject again with them. They have a couple new commissioners, and maybe they'll have a different opinion on that, but I'll go to one of their admin meetings and, you know, at least ask for something. So anything would be better than nothing, and it would be hard for them to deny that it benefits their county residents. So I'll make that pitch to them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pettish.
Thank you.
I move to suspend the two meeting, three rule. The three
We
reading
move
rule,
to
sorry.
suspend the three readings.
Yes.
From Mr.
I'll
Bishop,
second.
And a second from Mr. Red.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
No.
Motion carries 8-1. We suspend. And Mr. T. Smith?
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt from Mr. T. Smith, and Mr. R. Smith is second. Any further questions or comments? All right.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Item number 9, Resolution 2025-020.
Resolution amending Resolution 2025-019 to replace treasurer with auditor and declaring an emergency.
This has been added to the agenda by 3 council. Ms. Lang?
I'll take that on. So it was brought to my attention that we couldn't proceed forward with Resolution 2025-019, which is basically the treasurer and the director of public safety to enter into a design service agreement with McCall Sharp Architecture LLC. And this is for the new firehouse. It was passed by council on September 8th of 2025 with a 8-1 vote. It's my understanding that Mr. Reese is not willing to read or sign the contract. It's also my understanding that he had a conversation with the attorneys who wrote up the agreement. He also had a conversation with the city law director, Mr. Russell. I reached out to Mr. Reese to hear from him and what the problem was, and after his statement of 3 minutes and 49 seconds, I'm not reading it, I'm not signing it, I don't know if we have the money for it, and I am only part-time, and at which point he hung up on me. We are all sitting at this table, we're all part-time, but we have a job to do. It's a city's business for which we were elected to do, and when it was clear that this agreement was not going to move forward and was going to delay the start of the building for the new firehouse, we did the next quickest thing we could do so not to delay the start of getting this building moving forward. So a resolution 2025-020 amending 2025-019, and as finance chair, this would have come to the committee, would have come before the finance committee which doesn't meet again now until Monday, September 29th, and then it would be moved on to council
No.
October 6th,
That's
delaying this project as an additional 2 weeks.
The fifth Monday.
So we did a workaround, the law director did a workaround resolution, removing the treasurer and adding the auditor as a signer for this agreement. With that being said, I'd like to make a motion to waive committee consideration Rule 56 and move this on.
We have a motion to waive committee rule 56, and a...
Second.
Saw Mr. Rollins first. Did you have a comment? Was that your second?
A second.
Okay, I'll give a second to you, Mr. Rollins. Okay, then we're ready.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
No.
Mr. Schauber?
No.
Ms. Lang?
Yes,
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
7-2. Motion carries. Mr. Watts?
Yes, I have a question. Originally, the treasurer was put in here because of the revised code. Is that correct? So, can you change from the treasurer to the auditor? If the revised code says you have to have the treasurer? And then my other question is, did anyone talk to Miranda about this? Or is this just?
I did. I talked to Marion and let her know that this was the intention of the council to bring this forward to remove the auditor and insert treasurer, or I'm sorry, remove treasurer, insert auditor as fiscal officer.
And about the question, the other question, Mr. Russell?
So the city has retained the services of an expert consultant, Bricker Grayson. Bricker Grayson was the firm and consultants that prepared the resolution that council passed that carries the word treasurer 2000-19, 2025-2019. So the statute, this is for what's called design, build, construction manager at risk, which is how public entities can construct in present day a new fire station or other type facility in the most economical fashion. Treasurer and auditor are both fiscal officers. The Ohio Revised Code specifies that in regards to design, build, construction manager at risk, it just needs the fiscal officer. So they're both covered in the reference to fiscal officer. But there's a more important reason why the treasurer and auditor should be involved in this major construction project. As I mentioned earlier, construction projects are totally dependent on cash flows. Sometimes you have cash available in the bank. Sometimes you have cash available in investments that will be rolling off and available. Sometimes you don't need to borrow the total amount of the construction cost because of that. Cash flow is very important to managing on a construction project like this. So when the resolution came and it had the word treasurer, I didn't think twice about it. He's a fiscal officer, should understand cash flow, should be available to participate and assist the administration in the construction of our new firehouse. With that being said, the resolution passed, and then I was advised that the treasurer had indicated he wasn't going to sign the agreement. In fact, taking a step back, I received an email, I believe it was on September 11th, from Mr. Reese, asking me to review the agreement, which is totally ordinary, and I immediately reviewed the agreement, top to bottom, responded, I've reviewed the agreement. If you have any questions, I'll answer them, but it's ready to be executed. So when I heard, I believe it was last Tuesday, that he was still reluctant to sign it, I went and sat down in Mr. Reese's office, and I asked him if he had any additional questions that needed to be answered to give him a level of comfort to execute the agreement. He didn't have any questions. And I learned that he had already had a conversation with our consultant at Bricker Grayson where they had on the phone themselves, without my involvement, just come to the conclusion they would swap auditor for treasurer. So when I heard that, I immediately drafted this so our consultant's not spending 4 hours drafting this resolution so that we can move forward. We need our treasurer and auditor to be involved in all of our matters, but more importantly on a major construction project like this. Under Ohio Vice Code, in response to Mr. Watt's question, the auditor is a fiscal officer and is capable of signing off, and understand, signing off that there is an unappropriated fund balance sufficient to pay the bill like we had this discussion earlier. So I urge council to pass this so we can move forward.
But we have suspended Rule 56.
Jason has a question.
Yes.
Am I recognized?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. So when our fiscal officer, the treasurer, is named in a resolution to sign something because of what the law director just stated, he should have a good handle on cash flow. And one of the reasons stated by Ms. Lang that Mr. Reese refused to sign it, or did not want to sign, because he said something to the effect, I don't know if we have the money. That's our fiscal officer monitoring cash flow. Anything else is just noise. So if the treasurer is not comfortable with signing it because he's not for sure we have the money, why are we doing a workaround to go for somebody that will just sign it willy-nilly? That question, do we have the money, needs to be answered.
Well, there's a lot of hands up. I saw Mr. Rollins first.
I was under the impression that Mr. Reese did not even read the contract. So can we get that confirmed? Did you read the contract, sir?
Mr. Reese?
I wasn't aware of the contract until I got the email. And when I got the email to read and sign it, review it and sign, when I went into it, it said, by continuing, you confirm that you're acquainted with the agreement, which I'm not, I wasn't, to our terms and everything. So I didn't know, so that's why I didn't click on that and try to sign it, because I wasn't aware of the terms or anything. And I called, because it said also, if I have any questions, call Chris Butler of Bricker and Grayson. And I called him. And I said, and that's when he came to the office after I talked to him, because I'm sure he got Vicar and them said something or whatever. And he said, Chris Butler, who Vicar and Grayson, he told me, he said, I understand you don't want to sign something, you agree with something you haven't read or know. And when he came to my office, he said to me, Mark Russell, he said, we need you to approve this. Approve what? I don't pay out any money, I don't receive any money. I said, I'm not signing that when I don't know. In other words, the agreement was, we don't have the money to pay them when they're done or whatever. That's our auditor's thing. I don't know, because when I tell them what money we have, and our money market and everything else, and he can vouch to them, they always say, we got money coming up, don't touch nothing. Is that correct? Yes. So I can't sign something like that. I don't have the authority to say if the money's available and all that. I think that's the auditor's job. And Chris Butler said, he worked it out where he said, I believe the auditor should sign it. He said, if it be any different, I'll call you. He never called me, so evidently he must have talked to Rob, and they said the auditor will sign it.
Mr. Powell, I saw your hand up, I thought.
And just to be clear, this isn't whether we have the total money to build the fire station. This is just the money to pay the architect. This isn't the whole approximately $8 million that we're talking about. We're talking about the
$673,000.
$673,000 for the architect.
Mr. Arsman?
Am I correct in assuming that that question's already been answered, right? I mean, you said...
Well, you've appropriated the money.
Okay.
And that money, since it was passed, will be available to pay for the architect. So the money can be signed off by the auditor, and it can be encumbered for the services under this contract.
So my hearing is the treasurer is stating he doesn't feel that it's his responsibility. He feels it's more of the auditor's job, and that is what this ordinance does. It moves it to the auditor. So I wouldn't be uncomfortable with that.
Neither would I.
Ms. Richter?
So as far as the money, this is coming from a levy that people in Marion voted for and passed. People of Marion elected to have a new firehouse. People of Marion who don't have a lot of money took extra money out of their households and paid into a fund so that we can build a new firehouse. So delaying this delays what the people of Marion voted for and what people of Marion paid for. This isn't a general fund item. This is its own line item. It will be easy to tell if there's money to pay $673,000 or not, because the fund balance in there right now is over $800,000. So to say I don't know that we have the money, I don't know that that really holds a lot of water with me, because we all know that we have the money in that line item to pay it. It just seems to me that we're taking somebody who won't do what they're supposed to do and giving it to somebody else. And we're giving it to somebody else who has a department that has been short-staffed, that has some brand new people, that has been processing payroll without a payroll clerk, that is several years behind in audits, that is behind in the IRS, that's behind in making all their spreadsheets, that's behind in virtually every aspect of it, and we're saying, do this too because somebody else doesn't want to. And it's not fair. It isn't fair to her to have to accept responsibilities that other people won't. And so if this passes tonight, I want not one more mention the rest of this year to the auditor about why isn't this done? Where's your spreadsheet? Where is this or where is that? Because she's bailing us out here and taking her time from things that she already doesn't have time to do things that somebody else won't do. It isn't right and it isn't fair.
Mr. Reese, I saw your hand first, and then Ms. Lang.
What he said, I think he just gave a report of how much money was there and everything, just a moment ago. I don't even know that report. I don't keep track of that money.
You're the treasurer.
But that's not my part of my duty, is keep track of that money. The auditor's office does that. That's why I don't know that balance. I don't know that money. We have the deputy officer if you want to talk to him about that. I don't keep track of that money, so I wouldn't know what we have in that particular balance there.
Ms. Lang, and then Mrs. Reese.
So that kind of leaves me now, I have two questions. So the fire levy money that we get, is that in our general, are we keeping that in, those funds in, I don't care who answers it, are we keeping those funds in one of our local banks? Or are those funds invested in Fifth Third until we need them?
Well, the money comes in from the auditor's office, the county auditors, it comes in, and it gets put into the checking account. So, there's no way to look at the checking account to know how much is from utility bills, how much is from property taxes, how much is from the levy, but it's in its own fund with its own balance. So it's segregated so that we always know how much is there and what's available to spend.
And that's up to the auditor to keep track of, or the treasurer?
Well, we keep track of the funds because we pay the bills and we deposit the funds. So, we keep track of that because we know what money comes in, we know what money goes out.
And then what about the investments? Do we invest any of that money that comes in from the fire levy fund? Or do we just hold it in the account, in the active account?
Well, the funds that come in directly are held in the active account. When they build up so much like they did earlier this year, after we got the property tax, we moved funds into First Citizens. We moved funds into First Citizens. So
Okay, so if we move those funds, and we move them to First Citizens,
right.
then they're earmarked, the fire levy fund.
It's earmarked on our books that there's so much money in fire levy.
That's in interim accounts now.
Well-
We've invested, we've taken it out of
Well-
active monies, and we've transferred it to interim.
Within our records, I can't tell you how much is in interim or how much is in active. It's kind of like if you and your husband get your paycheck, it goes into the checking account, and you always take out a certain amount and put it in the bank. Nobody keeps track of like, well, you know, so much of this money in the checking account's mine, so much is yours, so much in the savings account is his, and so much in the savings account is yours.
Oh, you're not married to my wife.
I'm sure she appreciates that. But no, I mean, it would be too time consuming to break down within each of the investment accounts what amount of money is available or from what account, you know? I mean, it's not worth the time or effort. We have so much money, some is active and some is invested.
So,
So
Mr.
my
Ratliff,
second question, I had two questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did call on Mrs. Reese next, and then I'll go to Mr. Ratliff, and then I'll come back to you.
I am Cindy Reese, 1049 Richmond Avenue. Clarification on a few things. What I hear you talking about is funds that are in funds and cash flow. And the treasurer, as I understand his job, is not involved in the cash flow daily, how much is in each fund. Is that correct, or am I mishearing something? Is that what I'm hearing? So the auditor's office is responsible for what is available as a cash flow. That agreement is asking, will you have the cash flow when this bill of how much, what's the amount? $670,000 comes available. The treasurer won't know that. So how can you hold the treasurer responsible to know what's in cash flow when it's the auditor that's paying the bills and the auditor that knows what's coming due? How can you hold somebody responsible for that? Am I missing something? Can someone please explain that to me? Because yes, he is. They don't include him in meetings. I heard earlier tonight there was a meeting where they discussed what was in what funds. He's not included in those. Is that correct?
No.
Is he included in any of the meetings where we talk about what money is available?
Community Investment Board.
Community Investment Board, when we invest the money. So how can we continue to hold somebody accountable for information they don't have? Second point I just want to make clear. The auditor, you said that you made the arrangements, that the auditor would be the one to sign the document.
I did not.
Okay, I heard you reading that. You were the one, the committee decided that they would go and have the title changed to the auditor. Is that what I heard?
It did not.
Okay, that's what I heard you say, and others heard you say the same thing. So I just want clarity, because my understanding is the attorney for the consultant was the one who said, normally the auditor signs these documents. And it was that attorney who recommended to the treasurer, who yes, I am married to, he recommended to him, and I heard him on the phone, and he said to him that maybe the auditor should be the one, in your case, who signs it, especially if you don't know about the cash flow. So if he recommended that, and I understand we have a law director who then came and talked to him afterwards, but it was not the Finance Committee's decision to put the auditor's title and have her to take responsibility for signing it. That was not the auditor's. So I don't understand why, obviously the communication is broken. We've been saying that for 4 years. And the auditors and the treasurer are not, there's some miscommunication, but now tonight I'm hearing more and more of the Finance Committee. We're not talking to each other. What is going on in our city? What is going on? I don't understand it. And as I sit here as a taxpayer, something has to get better. You're talking a lot of money, and yet nobody seems to know what's going on. And so that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to clarify that no, it wasn't your decision. It wasn't the Finance Committee's decision. It was not your decision to have this moved to the auditor and to have it get done. That was what he was trying to do.
Mr. Ratliff?
Anything you want to say to me?
Well, a couple things. Just first to you is that the treasurer should be very aware of what that the cash flow is.
Never had.
Well,
never. 4 years.
I don't
almost
know.
Done.
I don't know that. I don't know that he is, but he is supposed to.
And
Because
who gives that to him, Mr. Ratliff?
well, he helps with the reconciliation of the books every month.
That reconciliation will not tell you cash flow. I do it every day. It's my job. And I can tell you, I still don't know what the cash flow is.
And he is supposed to know it to the point that he is supposed to make recommendations to the Treasury Investment Board when we have too much cash flow that we won't need for the next 6 months.
Which has happened.
So if he has made recommendations of what we're supposed to do with the cash, he has to have knowledge of the
He's
cash.
making recommendations of what we should be investing. That's different than your cash flow. Anybody that knows, if I got $10, I don't want to go back to $100 and the apples. Please. But if I got $10, that's my cash flow. That's a whole lot different than what I got in my savings account.
But
It's just that easy.
he is the driving force behind even
Now
calling
you
a
want to
meeting.
make him the driving force after 4 years. That's all I have to say.
Ms. Lang, I have you in the on-deck circle, and then we'll go to Mr. Reese.
I think what I said was this normally would have come to Finance Committee. I did not say the Finance Committee made the decision to change it to the auditor. Okay, then I'm going to correct the record because that's not what happened.
I know, that's all I was asking for.
The recommendation was made. If Mr. Reese got the same packet that all of us got for Finance Committee, if he would have read anything in that packet, the resolution clearly stated that the treasurer was going to sign that document. And why he didn't question it when it was in Finance Committee, I don't know. But I'm going to ask the law director, could we have forced him to sign that agreement?
Please.
So in response to your question, you may be referring to what in Ohio is called mandamus, and probably within the last 30 years there's been one mandamus action filed, and what that is a lawsuit can be filed in court to compel an office holder who's not performing the job to be ordered by the court to do their job. That process is a lot longer than changing the word treasurer to auditor. And importantly, let's assume for a minute no one here in this room had decided to change auditor with treasurer in the past resolution. Mr. Reese and a lawyer at Bricker Grayson had already between themselves, before a lot of other people started talking to them, had agreed to switch it. So we're here all to do the same thing. Let's replace treasurer with auditor. If we weren't doing it, I assume the treasurer would be asking to do it because he had talked with the lawyer at Bricker Grayson to do just this.
Mr. Schauber?
In an effort to move some things along, I will move that we amend this resolution in front of us by striking out the second whereas. There isn't a need to have a whereas that states that the treasurer refused to review or execute, when we clearly know that's not the truth. That's half truth, and it's just merely there to make someone look bad.
Did it refer?
Is there a second for Mr. Chavez? Mr. Prater, I see you have a second.
I mean, he's not here to ask at the moment, but did he refuse to review and execute? I know he didn't execute.
But that was the question I asked him, and I'm not sure that I got a direct answer other than he was prompted with something that made him think that he was signing it by trying to read it.
Ms. Lang?
I don't know how we can take out the second whereas because we've already passed a resolution stating that he is going to sign it. This is stating why we're doing the second resolution for the same thing we've already voted to execute. And was signed by the mayor.
Mr. Chavez?
Then I will withdraw my amendment and propose a different amendment that's in the second whereas strikes out, however, when presented to the city treasurer, he refused to review or execute. That language changes nothing. I mean, Mr. Ralph Smith knows exactly how this works. He did the same thing to me over the night moves bus ordinance. So it changes absolutely nothing. But if you want to make someone look bad, then by golly, vote no for this amendment. Or don't even second it.
So we have a new proposal from Mr. Schaber.
Second.
And does that, Mr. Prater, then you would need to withdraw your
I would
second?
need to withdraw.
And we'll have Mr. T. Smith take that second. Ms. Stratton?
So that before that we vote on this, can we get the treasurer to address if he refused to review and or execute?
Mr. Reese, I know you had something else to say probably before, a little bit ago.
I just got back. What?
Yes. So, well, I wanted to start back with anything else you wanted to add before this, but currently the question is, did you refuse to sign the agreement? To read the agreement.
Well, I told you why I didn't read it. When I went to read it, when it came, it says, by continuing, you confirm that you're acquainted with the agreement agree to our terms and privacy. And that's when I called them and I talked to the law director also, because I didn't know what the contract. I won't go sign something, go into something I don't know what it's saying. And even Chris Butler who represents Bricker and Graydon, he told me, yeah, I don't blame you not wanting to sign something you don't know about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Mr. Arson?
Mr. Reese, how far down in the contract was that statement that said?
No, that before I got into the
Point of order, what relevance does this have to the amendment?
I don't know if they asked me a question.
Naomi Craig, 65 Silver Street. I think the fact that he called the company up to try to get some clarification and did speak to Mr. Russell doesn't say that he totally said, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
The man tried to do something. He didn't understand what he was signing, and he refused to sign it. I would do the same thing for a $675,000 contract. If I didn't know what I was signing, I wouldn't sign it. He tried, it sounds like he tried to figure out what the contract said. He didn't feel comfortable saying it. He didn't refuse to do his job. You all just didn't like that he didn't sign the piece of paper that you wanted him to sign.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, we have, sorry, Mr. Ratner.
So I guess we should, as a council and as a community, determine if he should have. I mean, there was a vote of the people that they wanted a new firehouse. There was monies collected that the people all pitched in. There was a vote of council to execute the contract, and then it didn't get done. Is that a refusal? He didn't choose to do it.
Mr. Schauber?
So I'm not one of those guys that likes to say I told you so. But 2 weeks ago, when this was before council, the original version, I raised my hand. This is the very thing I wanted to talk about. I tried to get in front of it, but no, I was not allowed to speak. After the meeting, I went straight to Mark Russell, and we had this discussion. So let's move forward and stop harping on. I think there's a consensus that the auditor will sign it. Let's move forward and move this project on. Why are we beating this dead horse to death? I mean, it's 10 minutes after 8. We've accomplished nothing.
Are you calling the question?
No, because that would take another vote and more discussion.
No, it doesn't.
Mr. Cowell, did you have something?
Yeah, I would ask that the council bypass this going to committee like what was moved. As right now, McCall Sharp is working without a contract. They've done extensive work on this project already. I think we've had a half a dozen meetings with them. They've done renderings. We have a floor plan almost completely done that you're welcome to look at. And they're doing it all in good faith. I'm going to pass those down. And to be clear, I was the one that contacted Rick Brady when I heard there was reluctance to sign the contract. It had Chris Butler contact Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Cowell. Just to clarify, we do have a motion and a second to amend, and I think we'll have the clerk read that before we take that vote. Ms. Lang?
Just a comment, back to Mr. Schauber. We wouldn't be here the extra time that we've been here tonight if everything would have been executed the way it was supposed to have been.
Exactly. If I was allowed to ask my
You were
questions that
asked.
night.
You were asked, and you
After
said
the
no.
vote, you cannot go back, and we're still not accomplishing anything. We still want to go backwards. Let's vote on the amendment. We're not even talking about the amendment right now. No discussion this has nothing to do with an amendment that I just proposed. That's where the discussion should be at.
I'd just like to know what ORC we're doing this under, because Mr. Watts seemed to be concerned with it. So I'd like to get hold of the auditor of state tomorrow and see if they're concerned with it. So if I could get the ORC that we're changing this from audit or treasurer to auditor, I'd appreciate it. Anyone?
Mr. Russell?
Just give me a minute and I'll find it.
And, Madam Chair,
This is shady.
or Madam President, can we do a roll call? We had no discussion on the amendment. We're talking about everything else. Could we at least do the vote so we can move on with some business?
What again, for the record, is the amendment?
Clerk, could we hear the amendment that we have a...
Proposed amendment is to strike out after the comma on the second whereas. However, when presented to the city treasurer, he refused to review and/or execute it. So the second whereas will read, whereas the previous resolution authorized the city treasurer along with the safety director to execute the contract. Therefore, be it resolved, the council of the city of Marion, and then the rest of it remains the same.
And who was that second by, please?
Mr. T. Smith.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
No.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
No.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dichtel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
No.
6-2. Passes. 6-3 passes.
6-3. Okay. Motion passes. To amend. You need to read.
Resolution 2025-020, resolution amending Resolution 2025-019 to replace treasurer with auditor and declaring an emergency as amended. Mr. Schauber.
Mr. Schauber and then Mr. Smith.
I move we adopt.
I'm sorry.
Or
Suspend
suspend the
the
rules.
reading.
Sorry.
We have a motion to suspend the three reading rule and second for Mr. T. Smith. Any other comments or questions?
And Craig, 365 Silver Street, could I get that ORC, please?
Mr. Russell still.
Is there a council member or administrator that would like me to respond to Ms. Craig's question?
Yeah,
Yes?
yes, I would like the
I just wondered
ORC.
if you were involved.
Because in our discussion 2 weeks ago, you cited an ORC, and I don't recall what it was. So yes, refresh my memory.
So Bricker Graydon responded with 570541 is the taxation code section that talks about the fiscal officer's responsibilities. So to answer the question, it's 5705.41.
A taxation code.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to suspend three readings.
Yeah,
And a
question.
second. And other questions and comments? Ms. Ratliff?
So this is off the topic of the upcoming vote, but on the topic of what we just talked about. Why were we just asked that question? Just so I know. I've never heard that before. If we wanted you to respond.
Because as Mr. Schauber a short while ago brought us back to the germane issue before council, council just amended the resolution, and I just wanted to ask whether or not we wanted to go backwards or forwards. That's why I asked. And when I saw you look at me and Mr. Schauber looked at me and wanted an answer, I answered right away.
Okay.
Are we moving forward? I want to move forward, not backwards.
Other questions or concerns? Yes.
Cody Higley, 1201 Council Group 39, Caledonia.
Ms. Lang?
We need to take a roll to let him speak. He doesn't live in the city, and this doesn't affect him.
That's true, we did that last time.
Make a motion.
Make a motion to,
I'll second.
Mr. Barr has a motion and Mr. Ratliff the second to allow Mr. Higley. Let's take a vote.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
No,
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes,
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries. Go ahead.
Thank you. So the design service contract in question, that was the result of a bid with McCall, correct?
No.
No? How did it come about?
You don't bid for architectural services, you put out a request for qualifications. Companies respond to the qualifications, you score them on their answering of the questions, and then you pick one. And then you decide on what what that architect is gonna cost you. That's by Ohio law.
Okay. No, I was just curious because if you look at Ohio Revised Code Section 733.18, duty of city auditor as to receiving bids. Now it states, when bids are required to be filed for the letting of contracts by the Director of Public Service or the Director of Public Safety, the city auditor or his chief deputy shall attend and assist at the opening thereof and inspect them. So it's not a bid, but it's still dealing with contracts that, and projects that are handled by the Director of Public Service or Director of Public Safety. So I would think that would support the notion that in this particular situation, the city auditor should have been the appropriate party to co-sign that agreement. Thanks.
Mr. Powell?
That's why we enlisted the services of Bricker Green to walk us through this project, to make sure that we're following this to the letter of the law.
Okay, thank Okay. Well, this is, we've really established that this is not really relevant.
Attorneys
so.
never make mistakes.
Okay. Anything else? When you're ready.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
No.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
I'm confused on what we're voting on.
Suspending the rules.
3 readings.
Yes,
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
No.
Motion carries 7-2.
Mr. Ratliff voted no.
Oh, did I miss one? Oh, sorry. Got a corner in front. Okay, what's your count?
17.
All right, Mr. Barr.
Motion to adopt.
We have a motion to adopt from Mr. Barr and a second from Mr. R. Smith. Any other questions or comments? All right, anyone? Go ahead.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
No.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
no,
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith? Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
6-3.
6-3, motion carries. To amend. I'm sorry, to adopt.
as amended.
To adopt as amended.
Question?
Yes.
Is that enough to get the emergency clause enacted?
75%.
Oh,
It's
Is
not
it?
enough, it needs 7.
It needs 7 or 6?
For the emergency clause, I'm pretty sure it's 7. No,
I
6.
think we got 6.
we got
Sorry.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got 6.
Yeah, it takes
Or
6.
7, I mean. We got 7.
Item number,
I had it noted on here.
yes, I thought so. Item number 10, ordinance 2025-103.
Ordinance declaring the council's vote of no confidence in the city of Marion Treasurer Tommy Reese and declaring an emergency. This was added to the agenda by Ms. Lang, Mr. Barr, and Mr. Rapp.
I have a question or a comment.
Yes, Mr. Dickerson?
First comment, it says the council finds it necessary, given countless unexplained refusals by Treasurer Reese to perform his duties in office. I kind of feel like he explained tonight that he just didn't understand the contract and wasn't comfortable signing it. He did contact the lawyers and tried to have it explained to him. Is that a refusal or just or is that just I don't quite understand this and I'm not comfortable signing it? Just a thought.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yeah, I understood that to mean countless unexplainable refusals in the past, not this particular instance, but others have happened before. That's what I took it as.
Okay.
Mr. Schauber?
If I can ask a council member to clarify, so it's specifically, this resolution is specific to signing of a contract. What other issues are you speaking of or thinking of?
Item number 10, Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm looking at ordinance, not resolution, that's all. What is that?
I don't know. Who's on first?
Mr. Barr, I saw your hand up, can you answer that question?
That wasn't for that, I had a
Oh,
question
okay.
for, but I'll allow someone to answer. Mr. Schauber.
So it was stated that there's other issues with Mr. Reese, but this ordinance clearly states one specific issue. What are the other issues that
It's
we're
on
speaking
page
of?
2 of it, right up top here.
Okay, that's all I'm
Read it.
asking.
You want to talk about people showing up being prepared? Be prepared.
Why aren't they getting gaveled for that?
Let's be civil to one another. Mr. T. Smith?
Question for the law director. It says the council declares it necessary to demand the utilization of ORC 733.78. What is that referencing on the second page?
That's the ORC.
What?
So there's a procedure, and we've talked about it numerous times before, where a council member can complete an affidavit, forward that affidavit to the auditor of state. The proceedings can be undertaken to have an office holder removed. So it's the removal of an office holder.
Okay. What kind of cost is typically associated with that? Like, I'm sure there's.
So by
cost.
statute, the proceedings that we've talked about before in the past 4 to 5 years that take place in the probate court of Marion County, that process, by statute, the law director is the prosecutor of the case, so there's no attorney cost associated with that. There's an auditor of state process with the completion of an affidavit by a council person submitted to the state auditor. I'm not familiar with that, but I can't imagine there's costs associated with that because it's being forwarded to the auditor of state to review the council person's affidavit.
Okay. Thank you for that information.
Mr. President?
Yeah, I have a question on page 2, the third paragraph down. It says the treasurer has failed to make reasonable city cash management determinations as to monies held, city funds, and active nonfeasance. I question the two words refused, failed. They don't seem to go together. It's either one or the other.
Should be a slash or something.
Slash.
Is that just a typo?
Okay.
I didn't write it. I assume it is.
So this is written not just for this, what we just voted on, it's written for, in general, for behaviors over the last, yes.
That's correct. Yes, Mr. Barr?
Mr. Cowell, did you say you initiated this and had someone from that firm reach out to Mr. Reese?
That's correct.
And that's how that originated? But then I'm assuming when Mr. Reese was on there and he had questions, he called that number also. So all this was already in the process?
Yeah, I told Chris Butler from Rick Reagan that he had some questions about it, that he would probably be better qualified to answer than I, and to reach out to Mr. Reese.
So Mr. Butler called you Mr. Reese, or Mr. Reese, you called Mr. Butler?
I called him a couple of times.
Okay. Who called who first?
Hold on.
He just said he called him.
Yes, I called him. He told me he was gonna call me, but he never did, so I called him. And I talked to him twice.
Mr. Shelby?
Treasurer Reese has and continues to fail to respond to councilpersons and community members' questions. Mr. Reese, every time I call you, you answer, or you call me back. You've never refused to answer any of my questions. You may not have the answer at that moment. That's what I'm asking. What's the specific cases you're talking about? It's listed in the first whereas, but after the enacting clause, it's just general statements.
Mr. Barr?
Mr. Shelby, I believe you've been sitting on council when there's been questions asked of Mr. Reese out of the box, and he hasn't answered. He hasn't given us any inclination that he's even listening. Have you not witnessed that?
That's your
I'm not saying it's all the time,
That
but
would
it's
be
happened.
your characterization of him attending a meeting. I don't see it that way.
Ms. Lyon?
Mr. Reese has stated on the record many a times that nobody from council has been to his office to find out anything that he does. Nobody has called him, nobody bothers to communicate with him, and I'm going to go on the record to say that is a false statement, because I have made 6 times that I know of, possibly 7, that I have made appointments with you, coming directly to your office to find out exactly what the job is that you do, to have you show me what it is you do. And not only did I come, Mr. Ralph Smith also came. Casey Courtright also was in attendance. So on different occasions, because you kept saying nobody was getting with you to ask you questions and to follow up and the such, I started taking witnesses with me because you would say I wasn't doing that. And I made several attempts. I've called you several times. I stood and listened to you lecture me at the top of your voice for 45 minutes without interrupting you, to finish saying whatever it is you wanted to say. And then when I went to speak and ask questions, you kept interrupting me and never let me finish one complete sentence, not one. So I have called you numerous times to follow up on things that have been brought up at council, and you blow me off every time. Mr. Smith and I even had an appointment with you one day that you didn't even show up for, and you did not bother to call us and cancel or anything, and we waited for 20 minutes for you to show up until I called you and said, and you said, oh, I didn't know, I forgot to put it on my calendar, and I'm not going to be able to make it. So to state that nobody has tried to work with you is a false statement, because I have gone above and beyond to try to work with you and understand what it is exactly that you do for the city. You made a statement that I have no idea. Well, I do have an idea, because I have worked in accounting. I've done payables, receivables, treasuries, investments, audits. So I do know. And for you to state that I don't know is not an accurate statement also. The whole time we were working with Veritas, we tried to include you in those meetings. You weren't available. Now, my question is, because you keep telling me
Why is she allowed to
that
talk to him like this?
you are a...
I was going to let you answer. Go ahead.
Can we have at least a motion to waive committee consideration before we continue the dialogue?
Was that a motion, Mr. Rollins?
It was not a motion.
I thought we had...
It was a point of
Oh,
order.
you're right. I'm sorry. I'm out of papers, so I was making my own. Yes, thank you, Mr. Rollins. Does somebody have that?
I'll make a motion to waive Rule 56.
Mr. Barr. Motion to waive Rule 56, committees. Ms. Lang, is that
I'll
second?
second it.
Okay, let's,
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
No.
Mr. Schauber?
No.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
No.
Mr. Prater?
No.
Mr. Dickel?
No.
Mr. R. Smith?
No.
Mr. Rollins?
No.
that does not carry. The nays have it.
What committee would this go to?
7-2. Nays have it.
So it's soon legislation and codes.
Oh, boy. I don't know. Council President, what committee would you send this to?
Yes, I would say legislation and codes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Reese, did you want to respond?
I know it's late and I really want to be quiet, but the first time Ralph Smith and Twilight came to my office, they was telling me what I'm supposed to do. They didn't come ask me what my job was. That's all I'm saying.
Can I have one question of the law director? if this were to pass, what are the repercussions? What happens?
So we've been here before. Council has passed a resolution or ordinance of no confidence in the auditor. It doesn't have any legal significance. The legal significance would be in the statutory reference that Mr. T. Smith had asked about, as far as removal of office of a office holder who is not performing the duties of the office.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Moving on to matters not on the agenda. Administration of Council. Ms. Lane. Yes.
Since this is done, but matters not on the agenda, so that I can better understand, for my clarification, Mr. Reese continues to say that he's a part-time employee, and so I would like to know what days does he work and what hours does he hold, so that if I do need to get a hold of him, I know when and where and how I need to get in touch with him.
Family Treasury, 65 7th Street. You're not his boss. Mr. Reese, if I needed to get a hold of you, I'm going to send you an email because technically I am your boss.
Mr. Arslan.
Yeah, are you done?
Hmm?
Are you done, Ms. Lang?
Well, I didn't get an answer to my question. I guess I won't. Because he doesn't have to answer to council, I guess.
The question was about days and hours that you are,
I just like to know what his office hours are and how to get a hold
I
of
don't
him.
have any office hours. You have my phone number, right?
Well, yeah, but you hang up on me when I call you.
You don't want to go there.
all right.
You don't want to go there.
Mr. Arslan.
Yeah, I have a question concerning traffic studies. I was in traffic commission last Monday night. We had a traffic study, and they said that the fastest car going down the street was 54. The slowest car was 8 miles an hour. We had 22,000 some cars that went down that street during the 2-week period. And my thought on that was that when residents call in and complain about speeders going down the street, they're not complaining about the people that are going the speed limit or below. They're complaining about the people that are speeding. Why can't we, on a traffic study, count those people that are above the speed limit and average that speed rather than average the speed from the people that nobody really cares about anyway? So if the speed limit is 25, anybody that's above 25 on up to 54 or whatever, count those people and average the speed and see how bad it is of people speeding.
Chief, you might be more familiar with information that we gleaned from that traffic monitor. I'm not sure if that can be pulled.
Yeah, that traffic study's done through the engineer's office. We can take a look at that study and try to figure it out.
Okay, but you can count the ones that are above the speed limit?
That's not an accurate number.
Out of 22,000?
Well, I mean, we do them all now, right? We do
I'm not
those.
sure we got somebody to sit around and count through 22,000 items on that report. But
I just wondered.
if it's easily done, I'm sure we can check with the engineer's office.
Okay, yeah, 'cause
It's still not going to give you an accurate, if you do that, it's not going to give you an accurate representation of what that actual average speed is on that street.
Right, but
So we're kind of skewing the numbers like a little bit.
But the people are not complaining about people that are below the speed limit. And I'm just
But
trying to
we have to
address
determine if there's an
concern.
issue that needs addressing.
Yeah,
So we have to look at the law of averages. We can't just look at, well, on any given day, 10 people drive 60 miles an hour. We have to look at the law of averages because
Those are
there
the
are
ones that they're complaining about.
22,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that the people are complaining
We
about.
all think people are driving. I have kids that play outside. Everyone's driving too fast down my street.
Right, but this would give you an accurate figure.
Was that?
But it's not accurate. That's not an average.
Was that your, Mr. Rollins? Do you have another question on that?
No, I just think we need to learn math. I don't.
Statistics, it's tough.
Any other matters?
Naomi Craig, 365 Clover Street. Mine is actually related to traffic also. I was the behavior for traffic commission the last time. But since the face flat of the person on the e-scooter in front of my house, we had a situation the other night. It was like 2:20, it was 2:24 a.m. because I have it on my camera footage. I live very close to the Leader Street intersection, and I'm 5 houses away from the Leader Street intersection. My vehicle was not parked in front of my house, thank goodness. The neighbor's car, someone was going so fast that within 6 houses, they hit the neighbor's car. They actually kind of monster trucked over it, and it was a Nissan Altima, so it wasn't like it was a big truck. It was a Nissan Altima that was going so fast that it like monster trucked, I have the video footage, over one neighbor's car and then slid down the side of the other neighbor's car. So one car was totaled, one car has thousands of dollars worth of damage, and of course the people took off on foot because it was a hit and run. So my neighborhood is honestly to the point that we're just about to buy our own speed bumps and take it up with you guys. Take it up with the law director, take it up as a civil issue or whatever. I've been up here, I don't know how many times, 5 I think I counted, asking for someone to please do something, checking the intersection. I know at one point we have the little laser thingy, but people do slow down when they see those. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe with that. They see those, they slow down. Something bad's gonna happen in the intersection. Now that it's getting dark earlier, the high school kids are standing down on the corner at the bus stop. I've heard brakes locked up already. We got the elementary kids, no, they shouldn't be running around out in the street, but they are, down here at the intersection. You got people going to work, coming home when they're getting dropped off from Whirlpool and Kellogg Parkway and everything else. I hope it doesn't take a body, because I've already seen someone killed in front of my house. I hope it doesn't take another dead body for you guys to do something. But I'm telling you, there was $15,000 worth of property damage done the other night. Something bad is going to happen between Oak Street and Leader Street. And when it does, I'm going to be sure to let that family know of whoever was killed, that I've been up here 6 times now asking for help.
Did somebody else have something from council or admin? Mr. Ratliff?
Okay, 2 things. One, when Mr. Smith was talking earlier, I was kind of thinking the same thing when I was sitting in the audience. Maybe not an average of the speeders, but of the 22,000, how many were speeding? How many were going above 40? How many were going, excessively fast? Because if you are counting people driving 7 miles an hour, maybe that's not even a car. Maybe that was a golf cart that somebody was, and so when somebody comes up and says that there's an issue with speeding, and we have a traffic report that does show somebody was going 56 and a 25, that at least one car is an issue. How many were going close to that, I don't know. And I don't know how that the information works, if we can easily pull out cars above X amount, I don't know. But if we can, it would be nice to get how many of the 22,000 were above a certain speed limit, especially on a 25 limit street. In switching gears, I completely agree with Mrs. Craig that, I'm sorry, I'll just go Ms. Craig, that something should be done. I don't know what to do. I know that is a thoroughfare deemed by the state, and I know that there are a lot of different regulations with thoroughfares than there are with not, and Silver Street is. So
That was Church Street, and we got all kinds of speed bumps on Church Street. And from Oak Street to Leader Street, there's 3,796 feet of people just drag strip. The drag strip's only 1,300 feet, as a matter of fact. So we've got almost 3 times the length of the drag strip for people to get going.
and
2 speed bumps. 2 speed bumps.
and
slow them down.
It would, and I was the big proponent with getting a four-way stop between Oak
And it's helped.
Silver, and I do believe that it's helped. I think we've had some accidents there too, but I think
But it's helped.
I think we were going to have them whether there were stop signs there or not. And you know, we do need to do something. You know, I mean, I live there. I know.
My Ring doorbell really 57 times in one day. And I would be interested in knowing how many cars go down our street, because it is a through street, it has to stay 35, I've known that for years. Church Street's a through street, we threw speed bumps all over that, stop signs wouldn't make sense because, you know, Fahey, and I mean, those are just all little, there's nowhere to make a four-way stop really in the middle of Silver Street in that section.
Correct.
So a couple of speed bumps, I think, would really, especially if we gotten closer to the stop signs, because people won't have the chance, or maybe a little further, because people won't have the chance to start at the stop sign and just pedal to the metal, this is what they do. They get past the stop sign and then it's just free game.
Yes, and so if we could get something looked at on the side, or it come to traffic commission, it would be appreciated by a lot of people
Yes.
throughout
Very much so.
that
Mr.
side of
Prater,
town.
you had a question?
Yes, Mr. Prater.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, you're right over there at the school area.
Yeah, and I drive down Leader Street Silver every day now since
So
I'm in
you
town.
know it's a drag strip.
And I
don't
do
you?
know that those high school kids are there in the dark.
Mhm.
And even when it gets closer to
Foggy.
December, the middle kids, little
Mhm.
kids.
And the fog? You
In
can't
the
see
fall,
it?
yes, and there is a lot of, there's speeding through school zones, parents taking their kids to school going 35 in front of McKinley. I mean, I don't know if there's any total solution to get every idiot to stop,
No.
to stop being a jerk. I mean, you know, they put loud things on their car and they think they're men and they just,
Well, see, we don't have a place to park out back, so I don't have an option but to park in the street.
Yeah.
I've been sideswiped twice, I've been rear-ended once, I don't know how many mirrors we've lost over the years, so I'm not even here talking about myself right now, I'm talking about kids and my neighbor's stuff he was
Look.
throwing out, and dead bodies that I've seen in the street.
well, yeah,
So,
and I understand exactly what you're talking about, but you know, maybe, I remember a couple of
speed
years
bumps are
ago,
$124, that's what I know.
well, you know, maybe another stop sign between, because I do know from traveling down
I
Church
can't think
Street
of
every
anywhere that
day.
we would put a stop sign that would make sense on Silver, and that part, can you, Mr. Ratliff? I
No.
can't think of where a four-way, or, there's like side streets that come out and that's it.
Commercial, Fahey,
And
yeah,
Universal,
and Merritt.
and Maple. the
And
little
Maple.
Mhm.
I used to live down that area a long time ago.
Yeah, but I don't know how we would put a four-way. But
I-
if someone would consider something, we would appreciate it. If we needed to go find me, and the city come put them out, we'll pay for them ourselves. I'm to that point now.
Mr. Schreiber?
Yeah, so real quick, I hope the traffic commission does revisit Silver Street, because I remember when we discussed this, probably, Mr. Daniels was on council at the time, when we really looked into this. And that's where the idea of a thoroughfare or a through street, that's when Silver Street got that label. If you really, where does it go to? It goes to 309, but Prospect, you can't put a semi down through there. And at any moment,
Yes, you can.
you shouldn't, but at any moment during the day, there's a section of Silver Street that's shut down by trains for hours. So I think we need to re-examine the definition of Silver Street and reduce it to 25 mile an hour. Because it doesn't go anywhere, in my opinion.
Anything else from admin? And then, well, I'm sorry, I saw this young man's hand first.
Hi, Jason Hayes, 1026 Center Street. I just wanted to thank the streets department. My father's home burned down about 4 months ago, and they came over and they helped clean up a lot. And the mayor made an appearance, and so did First Ward City Councilman Sean Moore, and it's really appreciated, not just from my family, but from the community. So I just wanted to get that out there.
Thank you very much.
If we want to Kmart at 154 Council Street, we want to talk traffic,
North Prospect Street's a drag strip. They do not stop for those stop signs. So stop signs don't really matter. But it's like they started up there by Copeland and Fly. There's little mini bikes that they run up and down the street. I've called the police on them because they almost got hit by people coming off the council. So it's everywhere. And I have no idea what we can do, but I've thought about throwing nails out there.
Spike strips.
Can we strike that from the record?
I suggested just putting up signs that say beware of spike strips.
There you go. I like that. That's a great idea. Anything else? Matters not on the agenda. All right. Moving on down to committee meetings. Thank you. Ms. Lang? Airport lands and buildings?
Nothing at this time.
Jobs and Economic Development, Mr. Smith?
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Dickel, legislation codes, right?
Oh, yeah. These are on 10-6, correct? Not the 29th? Is that correct?
10-6, correct.
6, what's the earliest, 6:30?
Yes. Mr. T. Smith, Municipal Services, Parks and Rec?
I have not had anything sent to me requesting a meeting be called, but there has not been one for over a month, so I would like to call one in case something does come up. So
Okay.
yeah, 6:35, even though there's not any items yet.
There's minutes to be read.
There we go.
That you can spend a lot of time on matters not on the agenda.
Do you have to have an agenda item?
I think we have to have an agenda item to call a committee.
Okay,
Meeting
like our
minutes.
clerk said, our minutes need to be approved, so is that an agenda item?
Yep.
There we go.
Good job. Let me call a meeting. You do.
Mr. Ratliff, Public Utilities.
No, I don't have anything to call at this time.
Mr. T. Smith, Regional Planning.
Fourth Wednesday, 7 p.m.
Mr. Barr, Street and Sewers.
Was municipal services at 6:45 or 6:35?
35.
35, and we'll go 6:40, discuss the Silver Street Speedway.
And perhaps the clerk's suggestion.
Yes.
Traffic Commission, Mr. Barr? Anything there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing at this time. That
That's
6:45
what I
was
wanted
the
to-
Silver Street Speedway.
6:40?
6:40.
Yeah, 6:40. And nothing for the streets and sewers.
Okay. Zoning and annexation, Mr. Prater?
Nothing I know of at this
All
time.
right. And Ms. Lang, Finance?
45.
6:45.
Okay.
Old business reports and any possible legislation that will be brought forward.
All right. Thank you. With that, we are adjourned at 8:00.